representing the ID Home campaign, which is a youth-led movement to close the juvenile detention center here in Chicago. And I wanted to talk a little bit about our work. Since 2007, young people from the south side of Chicago have been working to close the CCJTDC, the Cook County Juvenile Temporary Detention Center. Recently in the media, they've made a decision to reduce the population of the detention center by half by the end of fiscal year 2012, right? They're realizing how expensive this system is and that it's not benefiting our communities and it's not helping us. So because they can't afford it anymore, now they want to look to community-based alternatives that the community can help them to support this juvenile justice system. But we need to be looking at that on a larger scale. Not just because it saves us money, but because it's the right thing to do. 80% of young people that come out of the juvenile system go into the adult system. This is the beginning of a system that follows them for the rest of their life. Yes. Young people need our help, need our support, and they need investment in their community. Young people need services, programs, they need mental health services. The large majority of young people that are being incarcerated have mental health issues. But what is the city of Chicago doing, the county doing, the state doing? They're cutting back on mental health programs. They're cutting back on the services that we need to really be able to stop this mass incarceration, to really be able to help people. So I ask you all to join us in our ID Home campaign, join us in our fight to stop mass incarceration, and let's start with our young people. Let's fight for our young people, and let's fight for all people that are being incarcerated. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We see some flashing lights. We know they hear us in there. We know you hear.
We love you. Prisoners over 99%.
Okay. Oh, just so people know, the Corrections Corporation of America is trying to build a detention center in Crete. We got an organizer from down there who is building a movement against that. Just to briefly let you know about it.
Hi, folks. Yeah, they're at it again down here about 30 miles south of here in Crete. The mayor's trying to cut a deal with ICE and CCA to build a huge 750-bed immigration detention center right in the middle of town. We didn't even find out about this. It's horrible, but we didn't even find out about it until November, so we got it real quick organized. We're going to stop this thing. We're not going to stop until we do. We don't want our neighbors living in cages right under our noses. It's hideous. We need everyone's support. We want to make this a flashpoint issue in this whole country. This is happening all over the country. Florida, Texas, Arizona, New Jersey. CCA is on the offensive. They're trying to take over every prison in this country. We're going to have a mass rally on St. Patrick's Day on the 17th, and we want thousands of people overflowing Crete, Illinois. I live in Moni, it's right next door. So, yeah, come on down. We need all your support. We're getting folks from Chicago, Joliet, Indiana, all over the suburbs and all over the megalopolis. We got to stop this thing, and we'll do it right in the middle of the heartland of this damn country. Thanks.
Okay, next we have Ken Richardson, who's a member of the campaign to end the death penalty. Give it up for Ken.
Okay. The media and politicians have been saying the economic crisis that started in 2008 is over, and everyone can go back to living their normal lives. But the problem is, for many communities of color, the economic crisis is not over. And it's not just an economic crisis. It's a depression that has devastated many communities across the country. And to top it off, many of these same communities were in a depression before the economic crisis.
That's right.
For example, 31% of children in Chicago live in poverty. And in neighborhoods such as West Garfield Park, 60% of children live in poverty. During the economic crisis, politicians and their friends at the bank stole trillions of dollars from the public to save their system. To pay for this, they're cutting the social safety net that was barely even visible in the first place, and making cuts to the public sector. Of course, these cuts are racist by nature, considering African Americans are 30% more likely than the to have public sector jobs. And 70% of them are, and 70% more likely to work for the federal government. These cuts are particularly devastating to black and brown communities, many of which have been experiencing cuts and devastation well before the economic crisis. The cuts in social programs and the lack of opportunities will only further criminalize communities of color. The prison industrial complex has already destroyed many of these communities. For example, 1 in 5 black men in his 20s in Cook County is under supervision of the criminal justice system. In prison, jail, or parole. In North Lawndale, a neighborhood on the west side, 70% of black men from the ages of 18 to 45 are ex-offenders. In 2010, Chicago police arrested 21,000 black youth 17 and under, while only arresting 936 white youth in the same age group. The education system in these neighborhoods is a school-to-prison pipeline. The cuts in social programs and a lack of opportunities will only further criminalize communities of color. For too long, the city of Chicago has been indifferent to the problems in black and brown communities. We asked for quality education, they closed down our schools. We asked for safety, they give us killer cops. We asked for jobs, they try to give us Olympics, but we stopped that. Now they want to give us the NATO G8. We must confront the priorities of the city of Chicago, and we can't wait on city council, especially Raul Emanuel, to do it for us. The brave parents and students at Piccolo Elementary School on the west side showed us the way. They occupy their school to stop the city from trying to make it a turnaround. In other words, we must do it for ourselves.
That's right.
It costs $65 million to bring NATO G8 conference here in May. $68 million. We have to ask the question, why can't we have a $68 million job program in Chicago? We have to say no to cuts, no to NATO G8, and no to a police state in our communities. And no to the war on drugs, and no to mass incarceration. Thank you.